Hi everybody! So this session that I'm doing is for Marina. It's a chakra removal session. So this is going to be a wonderful experience for anybody interested in chakra removal to get a feel for what a session is like. Plus, Marina, you're awesome. Thank you for your willingness to share this openly. So I'm actually doing a real live distance chakra removal session right now. Chakra removal isn't about actually removing parts of your identity. I can't remove your throat. I can't remove your heart. I can't remove your sexual body. I can't remove your third eye. Chakra removal is not about removing these things. It's about what is like breaking down the layers of your old structural identity and getting those layers out of the way, blowing those layers out of the way, and then feeling refreshed and feeling like a rejuvenated light body identity. It's more like a human ascension gift. It's an activation gift. It's a kind of like it's definitely is going to raise your vibrational frequency and make you feel a lot lighter. So I'm just going to relax here and then I'm going to get started. Marina, thank you again so much for your willingness to share this openly. So I'm just going to relax. So I see this, the introduction to this, it's getting really soft, it's feeling kind of denser and lower. I see what is like a teardrop coming through a thin line. It's basically like a black curtain, and then the black curtain has a line right here, an opening, but it's really tight, and there's just like a teardrop that's forming right there. I touch the black curtain. It just feels like there's some deeper part of your soul that needs really intense comforting. I try to pick up the teardrop with my finger and it won't attach to my finger. It won't, like, I can't wipe it away. It's like there. It's not wiping away. I feel sad for you. I feel sadder inside. You're kind of shrouded in this black curtain. You could see it like a black cape, but the cape is kind of, you're hiding underneath a blanket. It's kind of what it's like too. I can't get to the other side of this curtain, so I'm simply just standing here patiently. Gosh, this is a very deep, low, sorrowful tune that I'm experiencing. This isn't even deep. I mean, this isn't even like the deep layers. This is still what is surface, at the surface. It's so quiet in here. The sorrowful tune is getting softer and softer, and it just simply feels quiet. I'm in a room now where I'm sort of, it's all kind of open glass, like I can see through the glass on the floor and the sides, on the ceiling, the walls. It's like I'm in a glass box. It's very quiet inside this glass box. The glass box is actually me. I'm looking straight ahead, but it's an illusion because the perspective changes and now I'm sort of dropping straight down instead of going straight ahead. It's like an elevator. Okay, two things are happening. I see you still in the elevator way up there as a version of me is just plummeting down looking up at you. So now we have two elevators going on. You seem kind of distant and not paying attention. You're just sort of looking around at the glass inside of this elevator box that you're in way up there, and I'm sort of like in a panic as I am plummeting downward, like stomach drop and everything. Unexpectedly plummeting down, down, down and away. I feel confused to see you seem so disconnected from what is truly happening here. It's going down so fast, I'm starting to float upward in the elevator. I'm actually floating inside the glass box now. It's going so fast that gravity, there's no gravity here. I'm like literally floating upward. I float up to the ceiling and I manage to find what is an odd door. I open it. It's just like a latch. I open it and now I'm just sort of floating in this place, and the elevator drops faster than I do. It's sort of like an Alice in Wonderland effect, because I'm accepting that I'm going downward. It's just sort of floating in the feeling of being trapped in an elevator and just plummeting down, down, down and away. It's just evaporating from my senses, and I feel at peace with the experience. But this version of consciousness here, it doesn't necessarily ever want to touch the floor. It doesn't want to reach any destination. There's a sorrowful tune again playing down here. Gosh. It's so distorted, the way is so distorted. Because when I fall down, I'm starting to notice that I'm falling vertically or horizontally, so I'm falling off to the side. It's just kind of a very warped place. So where truly is the ground? Is it on the wall? Is it on the ceiling? Is it on the, like, where is the ground? If it's so warped, I feel like now I'm sort of floating off to the side, but I'm going down very quickly. But down is now like a horizontal experience. It's very strange. But the heartfelt intention is I don't ever want to put my feet on the ground. I don't ever want to put my feet on the ground. I never want to get to a place. I just want to stay in this state. I just would rather just keep falling forever, because at least there's something peaceful or expected about this. There's nothing unexpected, other than I feel at peace with falling in different, horizontally. I'm like falling horizontally. But it's totally acceptable as long as I'm not touching anything. That's not how this works. I hear what is a wiser voice from up above kind of thing. You eventually, your soul, through the experience of learning, it must change directions. It must have new experiences, otherwise nothing changes, and that's not how it works. Souls grow, souls expand, and the only way to grow and expand is for souls to actually reach a destination, which is actually a new chapter in the book of learning. The soul can't just forever, a part of the soul just stay in a void or stay in a state of just forever bliss falling. That's not how this works. Eventually that part of the consciousness must start the chapter of new learning. It must reach the next phase of its development. Your heart is starting to adjust to this and accept that it is ready now to face the next thing. This is very hard. Oddly enough, the soul is ready, the consciousness is ready, but it also is resistant. On some weird level, it's like, fine, I guess I have to face the music. I'm ready to face the music. It's not totally miserable about it, but it still has a hesitation. It starts to cry as it senses it's going to be touching a grounding very soon. Very, very odd on the legs and the knees. It feels like the legs are made out of a rubber. It's just overwhelming. The senses are just overwhelmed by this moment. Your feet are touching this ground. and your legs are made out of a thick rubber. And you actually, when you hit, your feet hits the ground, you sort of rubbery, like you kind of go to the ground, but you bounce back, like it just sort of boingy. Your feet are firmly against the ground here. I mean, there's no slipping or sliding at all. It's hard to even describe what the ground looks like. I feel like I'm in a two-dimensional reality, so it just, what do things look like in a two-dimensional reality? It just, there's no space. It just feels, on the outside of the picture, I can see what is like a, you know, like an ant, you know, you can put ants in the ant, like an ant farm. So if you could imagine, there's no dimension, but you just see kind of the flat of the sand, the kind of effect of the soil that's in there. It's got a more of a sandy look to it. A dusty, dried, sandy kind of look to it. Khaki color. Flat. Everything is flat. How does the soul expand? How does the soul grow? If everything is flat, how does the soul become dimensional? How does the soul experience space? There's a super layer I'm breaking apart right now. This is like one of these structural layers I'm breaking apart right now. Sort of like a clay jar that just broke onto the ground and shattered. You can hear the pieces of clay. It doesn't necessarily shatter, it just breaks into like 6 pieces or something. You hear it. I'm breaking through to the other side, Jim Morrison style. Break on through to the other side, the doors. There's something about this. We're going through a doorway to the other side. It's awesome. It's exciting. There's no such thing as a ground here at all. It's totally like being in outer space, but also inside of a giant helium balloon, because it feels like I'm inside of a contained space that feels like it's blown up like a balloon, but it looks like outer space. It looks like distant stars, and it's dark everywhere. That's what it's like. It's starting to alter the effect of exciting to kind of feel bloated. Feel bloated and distant and distorted. Feel even more lost than I was before. So things are turning upside down, and now I'm falling to a gravity, like literally this space just turned upside down, and now gravity happened, and I'm falling flat to a ground. I'm instantly using tools and trying to break through this layer and go down deeper. It's really hard to break this layer here, very hard shell. I mean, every tool I got is not breaking this stuff up. Like a jackhammer, construction equipment, I mean, everything is not breaking through this. I give up, I say. I lay down, I wipe the sweat off my brow, and I feel at a loss for how I'm going to break through this. I just take a moment to sort of enjoy some sunlight that's manifesting here. It feels like a really nice, relaxing, peaceful moment in the sunlight. I'm just absorbing the sunlight. It's very refreshing. When I am absorbing the sunlight, Marina, you are absorbing the sunlight. You are absorbing this fresh sunlight. You are like a sponge, and it feels amazing. It feels like it's tickling your toes, I mean, it is tickling your toes. It's going up your legs. It's making you laugh inside. It's filling you with even healing like oxygen. It's like a healing breath that you're breathing in. The sunlight is just really purifying and healing everything. And it's tickling you. I mean, it's making you laugh. It's healing you with laughter too. It's healing you with just warmth, radiating love energy. It's just amazing. It is totally amazing. Okay. So we're just breaking out of another shell. I can feel it. Like I feel like I'm stretching out of another clay pot, and this one is around what is the structure of you laying down, enjoying the sunlight. It just sort of cracked open. I can breathe again. You stand up. You and I are one consciousness, so it feels like I too am standing up. I feel so much better. I don't even care about breaking the ground here. I feel like I broke through the shell just by allowing myself to relax and be peaceful, and it just sort of manifested around me, and it just cracked, and now I feel like I'm ready to do the next thing. I feel so happy. I start to run, and then I kick my heels up in the air. I'm like starting to do like really dance moves, really fun like ballerina moves in the air. I feel so free. I'm leaping, and I'm just laughing, and I just feel so free and happy. When I feel free and happy, I don't think about anything else. I just think about how awesome I feel right now. But when I start to ask myself, where am I and why am I here? Now everything starts to feel kind of gross and yucky. Like I quickly leave what is the innocent joy that just feels so natural. When I start to think, now the innocent joy goes away, and I'm starting to figure something out. It feels a lot heavier. It feels a lot more serious. I feel like I'm being sucked downward. I feel like I'm going downward. There's something sad again that I'm hearing, a sad song. I feel the sorrow inside my heart, which is some part of your soul feels a sorrow deep, deep down inside your heart, some sort of old sorrow. Really deep down. I mean, there's a lot of tears related to this sorrow. I mean, it just feels like the tears will never stop. I'm trying to get into that sound specifically. I'm trying to get into the tears in order to see where this takes us, to see what's there, but it's not showing me anything yet. There's another voice. This is a female voice that smiles at me. She smiles at you, Marina. She says you will get there in time. Be patient. All things manifest when they are meant to. She reminds me about the ground, the falling like Alice down a long tunnel, but finding peace with falling, finding peace with not having to be stationed anywhere or to learn anything, just to feel peaceful falling forever. But the soul has to keep growing and expanding, so the next thing, that when the time comes, is basically when the soul consciousness needs to continue expanding. So now things manifest, things change. And she says this too will manifest when it is time. This floor, everything feels like it's sort of turning up like a square that is turning now, so it's like a diamond. And what are our feet, your feet, Marina, are sliding down towards an opening at the bottom of what is the bottom of the diamond. It's coming downward. I have to turn into sand. I turn into sand as I go through the opening at the bottom here. I become sand, and I just plop out. I'm in a whole nother world. That's a dizzying effect about all these changes. It's hard to keep up with them. It's hard to know where I was and where I've been and how I became this. There's just too many transitions. There's so many transitions. There's a little bit of anger down here related to all of this. The frustration about all these constant changes, constant awakenings and rebirths. It's just sort of like it's some part of the consciousness is like, slow down, I'm trying to catch up. Can't you just make my life like more predictable or more smooth or easier or something of this effect? It's just a small little bout of frustration down here. It's not like you're living in a frustration at all. Yeah, it's quickly resolved. But there's something else not resolved down here. Something definitely not resolved down here. Because this too is sort of shaped like a diamond, just the floor where it just comes to a point downward, like an upside down triangle. And there's no roof, I don't see any roof, so I can't say what is above, what is like just these two walls that meet at a point, going down like a downward arrow. Again, I'm sort of at the point. And the floor just feels very like it's not letting go of something. It hasn't resolved something yet. And the more I get frustrated with not having resolved this, the stronger the floors get. I'm not able to just turn into sand and then just seep through this little hole here. I can't. The more solid things get, the more frustrated or aggravated or longing for things to move forward, or frustrated that I can't let go of this or whatever it might be. It just makes it so it's blocked. You got to be loose and limber. You got to let things go, and you got to trust in the process. You got to trust in the movement. You got to trust in the randomness. You got to trust in where you are guided to go next. No matter what it makes you feel like, or if you feel like you can't keep up sometimes or whatever it may be, everything is in divine timing. Everything is correct. You sit down here in this layer here, that's just the point, right at the point, and you cry. You say, I cannot break through this one. I feel frustrated. I give up. You just start to just let go. You simply start to let go by getting to a point where you've tried so hard that you've let go of everything. You just let go of even trying. So now that you've let go of trying, now you start to turn to sand and go through the hole. Sometimes you got to get so broken that you have a moment where you just cry and you give up. But by giving up, that is the one thing you need to do. It was like completely surrendering yourself. It was totally letting go in that moment. So you just transformed into like a dark bluish colored sand that's going through this hole now into another layer. There's such a hunger or a anxiousness to get through more and more layers as fast as we can go. As you seep into what is just a flat ground, it's kind of got a plastic effect to the ground. It doesn't feel like there's like growing grasses or trees or anything. It's just like a white plastic. You turn into like a crazy digging animal with really long claws and long kind of clawing fingers. And you start digging away at this floor in order to get further down. But it doesn't happen. It's kind of, I'm ready. But it's not happening. I mean, the floor is saying, no, not yet. What you don't realize is you really want something to happen right here, but it's not supposed to happen right here. So if you actually wait a little bit, this space will sort of turn or alter its angle or perception, and then you'll be taken to the right place where you can start digging. But this isn't the right place. Life has to revolve. It has to transition. And then when it transitions, then you will know that it is time now. This is very irritating to what is like a really big groundhog, but it looks like a sloth. It looks like a sloth that has really massive clawing fingers, and it's a lot faster than a sloth. It's really got a lot of intensity. And so this massive sloth digger is just sort of sitting just kind of sad about this. Is so excited, is so ready right now, but is having to accept the answer is no. I go sit down by the sloth digger and I say, do you remember when you were just peacefully falling and you never wanted to touch ground? You never wanted to land anywhere? You just wanted to peacefully fall forever? Well, now look at you go. You've transitioned through so many different perspectives. This is like a soul journey through so many different perspectives. And now here we are in a new experience, and you are ready to have that experience, and that is a good thing. That is you welcoming the experience. That is you taking the experience, a bull by the horns. You're ready. And so don't feel sad if the universe says, you're really excited, you're really ready now, but it's not time yet, so you have to wait. That's okay, right? You have to find other things to enjoy while you're waiting. And there's lots of things to enjoy while you're waiting. I remind this giant sloth digger about the warm sun that was tickling the body. I remind the sloth digger about this, how fun that was. Sloth digger is remembering this. Sloth digger says, but I don't have any sun here, so what am I supposed to do? Ask Sloth Digger if he's familiar with this sound that I've been hearing along the way. It's a sad sound. Sloth Digger turned into a man. I mean, he does. He says, I do remember this. He says it inside his heart as he transforms into a man who's standing down here. His interest in digging further sort of subsides, and he feels like he needs to find something. It's a treasure box of some kind. He's trying to remember where he put it. He's thinking really hard, trying to remember really hard where he put it. He's even praying to God, to angels, heaven, to everybody, to please help him find this treasure box. He needs to reclaim this treasure box. It's basically you, Marina, saying, there's a part of my soul that I'm looking for. I'm ready to reclaim this part of my soul. That female voice is sort of smiling. She says, now you can see why I wouldn't let you dig any further, because there was learning and things to discover yet that are extremely valuable. It's more important that you come to this conscious awareness about this thing that you're looking for right now than to do it at any other time. So she again is reminding about the value of when things are ready and things are not ready yet, so to speak. It's all in divine timing, and everything is in the balance. She says it's a beautiful thing when the soul is rediscovering itself and is saying that it is ready for finding old parts of itself, to bring that back into its totality, to bring that back into the higher self, or however you want to put it. It's like a soul fragment. It's a really special soul fragment piece. There's so much sadness about this. I mean, it's like a lost lover. It's like a total lost lover moment. It's very, very full of really intense, deep sadness. He accepts that there is he's not given a map, or there's no necessary, he's not given any direction on how to find what he's looking for. He accepts that. In fact, he takes it upon himself to transform this into what is his life, a learning journey to find this. And he will take as long as it needs to take, and he will accept how long it needs to take in order to find this part of himself. It's really amazing. How many of us actually say, you know what, I'm going to take the rest of my life to learn about this one thing. A lot of us just want to know everything right now. But he says, you know what, I'm going to enjoy every single minute that I have. And if this takes 20 years, I would prefer it to take longer, so it can be more interesting, so I could learn even more about it. along the way. So that way, when the time comes in 20 years, I will be able to look back and appreciate everything that I went through in order to reclaim this part of myself. He says it's totally worth it. He's like, it's worth it. It is worth it. This is so precious. I would take lifetimes to find it again. Man, this is a very dizzying. There's a very dizzying experience about how this is transitioning. It's like it's hard to breathe, dizzying effect to it. It feels like it's kind of connected to the heart, but kind of connected to the gut. They're both, it's sort of connected to both of these regions, but it feels really deep inside the soul. Like a longing, a feeling like something is missing, a part of itself, which would be like a soulmate. That's interesting because souls say that a soulmate is a part of themselves. We're all part of each other, but it's like really special. There's something really sacred when the deepest part of the soul, it says I'm missing a part of myself and it is another soul. It's like a really powerful message about love. It's like I'm looking for a soul fragment of your own soul, Marina, but it's actually what is like you miss a soulmate. It's kind of what it's like. I'm still learning about what this is. Something's like quickly changing here. There's just like a massive, like a tight, wasn't breathing, just suddenly came open, really, really wide, and a lot of air just poured in, and it just feels like I have freedom, I have the ability to go, I have the freedom to go down there. And the substance of what is a massive opening now, it has like, it looks like body tissues in a way. It's a softer texture, and it's sort of sucking us, sucking me and this man down, we'll just see where this takes us. But it feels like, oh my gosh, like air, you know? Like I can get really air deep down inside of me, like I can breathe. I don't think we realize how sometimes like blocks that we don't even know are there, they can cause us to feel a little more clenched and not allowing the air to breathe deep down inside of us. So there's some part of you, I'm telling you, you're getting way more oxygen into some other part of you that was just really clenched. And it feels like flow, airflow, and it's airflow into these nooks and crannies. It has like the heart portal and then the like emotional gut region that's sort of in there that this is happening, and then it's sending a lot of energy into the head too, into even the neck and the shoulders. It feels like a lot lighter, a lot looser, and I mean we are just going down. And the man, I mean, his heart is starting to turn into a golden light, and he says, I am coming for you inside of his heart. I will be there with you soon. And I'm just sort of like a ball just plummeting down. I'm like, whoa, 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 like a funny ball. And this man is just like holding on to the harmony, you know? He's just like a golden heart light. And he owns it. And I'm just like a silly ball all over the place. They're just flapping and flailing and bumping around. It feels amazing to go down this tunnel. There's so much air, there's so much deep oxygen, there's so much freedom, there's so much peacefulness, there's so much rejuvenation of the soul, there's so much enlightening energy entering in, but it's not coming from out there onto the skin, it's coming from inside and then it's spreading outward. So the sunlight of your soul is now on the inside of you and is spreading out in a way that you feel it. You feel glory, you feel golden, you feel like the sun that was kissing and like tickling and caressing and was like making you giggle and laugh. And it was just awesome. On the outside, like a really awesome beach moment, and the sun just feels so perfect right now. But this here is like on the inside and then shining outwardly, and it is freaking phenomenal to feel it. I mean, I feel so able, I feel rejuvenated, I feel energized, I feel empowered, I feel like I just feel like I'm focused. I feel like I'm just there. I'm ready. I feel like I feel like I can now. But it's far more collected. It's not the sloth that is like, I want to break another floor down, you know, I'm like, go layer, 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 and then it won't happen, and it's not time yet, but I just feel like I'm in the flow. I feel like I'm in the flow of the frequency, and I'm accepting, and I'm in the balance. I feel perfectly balanced with the universe. It's amazing. I don't feel, it's interesting because this sort of bouncy ball, and this man, the Abbey, is now transforming into what is a woman that does not look like me. And she is starting to feel so peaceful. And this man starts to realize there she is. It was sort of somehow I was part of that consciousness that her identity is revealing itself here, and she and he are locking eyes, and they're starting to merge and intertwine their energies together. They feel so, it's like it's a finally moment. It's like a total finally moment. They're like the breath of life when they're connected. It's a total balance. It's like breath of life. And I mean, it's not like fireworks. It's more like insane peacefulness. It's like the breath of life that is freeing us of our senses, of anything that would be weighing us down. It feels like I'm light as air. I feel like myself. I feel like I remember something. And the memory is in the feeling of the sensation, the airiness, the freedom, the ability to breathe. This amazing sensation is the memory. There's an opening of eyes. What is a divine collective of a male and female energetic pairing, as sort of walking forward in a space of white light, and the eyes are glowing, and the male and female are walking as one. And their hearts are one, their souls are one, their eyes see as one, their thoughts are one. They're free. There's no more of all these structure breakings, and all that stuff is just completely evaporated. It's not even there anymore. It's just so, it's like reborn in the light. And letting go of all of that other stuff. There is a sensation of what is the odd elevator that was going horizontally is now sort of turning upward and then going vertically very, very quickly up into even higher frequencies of this sort of light space, pure white light space. It's really illuminated, bright, refreshing, full of airiness, freedom feelings, feeling like bonded connection, and the ability to just go higher and higher, infinitely higher. It's so freeing of the senses, letting go of like what looks like garbage just coming out, just like random stuff coming out of the structure. It just plopping out. It's just energy garbage that is just coming out as you're going quickly upwards. It's just old stuff that's weighing you down that your soul doesn't need. You're shedding skins here. You're breaking down the structure, so you're feeling extremely light. I mean, it's almost like shedding the weight of the body. Feels so much lighter, so much airier, so much freer. I mean, you, Marina, it's like you really needed. There's a lot to be said about what this male consciousness is, but in this part of this we're seeing what is your divine feminine and divine masculine sides merged as one. So our soulmates, you know, like here I am, I Abbey, I'm a female. So then my soulmate or my companion then as a male, because that's my gender choice, it doesn't matter. Like we're all sort of aspects of male and female, but we create balance for each other. So our choice, our companion choice, helps us balance our feminine and masculine sides. Whether that's female-female relationship and male-male relationships, the souls find balance in this experience. So here you're finding balance with male and female sides. And I'm telling you, there's a couple things going on here. We're an infinite soul, so we're not just one thing, we're many things, and many things can intertwine to create one extraordinary moment. So there's also some sort of soul fragment piece associated with this, and you feel like you've collected a part of yourself. It also feels like I healed some version of a past life sorrow too, like a loss of a really extraordinary lover. So it feels like all that stuff is just cleared out, not only breaking down all these structures, but it feels like all of this is just really cleared out and you're really ascended, really high frequency, and the feeling of lightness, light and airiness is just out of this world. It's amazing to feel it. I feel like I have no weight, no baggage, no garbage. I got nothing left but just the love. And I feel like I am the love. Everything we saw along this journey is evaporated and in a state of completion. Where we are now is sort of like a heavenly space. Just really high up, the elevator is stopped, everything is sort of vanishing. I feel like there's just a very purified version of your consciousness that is at peace in here, in this space. It just feels totally rejuvenated, at peace. It's in a meditation, it's in sort of a peacefulness with the air, with the light, with the frequency. It just feels amazing. It feels like you're just totally polished. It's like a dirty car, an insanely dirty car. We didn't even realize how dirty. And then it went through the wash and you just are like a dazzling, sparkling, brand new car. Like that's what this is like. I mean, you feel totally polished and sparkly and shiny and brilliant. That's it. That's all. Give me a moment here to collect myself and I'm just disconnecting from your spiritual atmosphere. Just letting go of everything. All right, Marina. I'm pretty out of it. That was really amazing to experience. It was really intense and wonderful. It was healing for me as well. You're awesome. Thank you for sharing this openly so other people can learn about chakra removal. One thing's for sure, energy work of this kind, if you feel sleepier, just take it easy. Your body has a lot of processing to do, so it might feel a little sleepier than usual. Drink lots of water. This is pretty, you just went through a hardcore transformation, so you're going to be feeling like, for me, I feel like you're going to be feeling pretty awesome. I feel pretty awesome, but I also feel kind of out of it. So I'm just going to say that. Thank you again for sharing, Marina. And those of you watching, if you're interested in a chakra removal session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all, and I wish you all a wonderful day.